The government is open to any kind of dialogue, except any that involves a power-sharing structure.
If our brothers follow the constitution as they want us to believe, especially Azimio One Kenya lands Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta, which constitution are you following?
We are saying that the country is peaceful, the police are doing their work, and they are going to do that. All we have to tell you, just check who is next to you.
Because this government cares about the citizen. It cares about the rights of citizens, the rights of children. It cares about the Kenyan citizen.
Tusiwe waoga. Tumeuziwa uoga kwa siku nyingi na watu ambao hawapendi maendeleo. Hawataki Kenya iendelee.
On behalf of our colleagues and as Kenya Kwanza senators here in Senate, we want to state three things. One, we want to thank the police for doing a fantastic job across the country. 99.9% of the country is calm. Normal working conditions across the country, except a few pockets that we have seen for yesterday. While we empathize and sympathize with Kenyans who have lost their lives, unfortunately, yesterday, I have had people making assertions that there are extrajudicial killings happening by the police. That is misleading the public. We are aware there are criminals who are infiltrated the demonstrations by Azimio One Kenya Alliance. As colleagues, senators, we have indicated that the police are doing very well. They continue to protect lives and property of each and every Kenyan. And therefore, they use force where necessary, especially when their lives is in danger. There are many structures that are in place that can be used at any given point to ensure such grievances are. But what you observe as Kenyans, you can see, how can you handle people who are throwing stones at police and rocks and firing live bullets? We ask the police to continue arresting any person who wants to disrupt the peace of the country. I have, secondly, is that we are also taking keen interest. Our colleagues have indicated that the ICC should take a keen interest. The instigators of violence are known, and chaos in the country and lawlessness and anarchy. It is Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta who are sponsoring all this chaos in the country. You have heard the president that we will protect the country against economic saboteurs, lawlessness, anarchy, and violence against innocent Kenyans. We also appeal to ICC, and we are documenting all these instances that has been sponsored by opposition leaders against ordinary Kenyans who are peace-loving Kenyans. Their lives have been disrupted. This is no longer about Article 37. These are acts of criminality. These are acts of terror against Kenyans who are going around their businesses. So we want to ask our colleagues to stop this. If our brothers follow the constitution as they want us to believe, especially Azimio One Kenya lands Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta, which constitution are you following? Yet the constitution on different occasions have called upon that these matters have been decided and adjudicated upon. Finally, we want to tell the country and our supporters across the country, there shall be no handshake, there shall be no cooperation, there shall not be no consultation, there shall not be Nusum Kate government, and there shall not be any job that will be offered to Raila Odinga or any concessions from the government. What I can say, there is a song that says, that has been sung by some young Kenyans, waende wasikie vibaya huko kwao. And therefore, with those many remarks, I allow a few colleagues to comment. Senator Maina can go first.
We have seen our opponents trying to apply Article 37 of the Constitution. But Kenya is a mature democracy. Kenyans are very understanding people. They are starting to question what is the statement of peace that a leader who serves a notice for demonstration under Article 37 is giving to Kenyans. It will reach a point where in Kenya, citizens will demand that if you call for a demonstration under Article 37 of the Constitution, you will have another statement to show Kenyans how you are going to ensure that that demonstration is peaceful. Because the minute a demonstration ceases to be peaceful and it crosses the line and becomes a violation of another person's right, then you will find there is another article that kicks in, and that is Article, I believe, 24.3, if I'm not wrong. Article 24(3) will kick in because the exercise of one person's right must never move to a point where it starts to violate another person's right. So we are calling for a balance here. Article 37 is true, is enshrined in our constitution for very good reasons, that you can actually hold a peaceful demonstration if you intend to. A peaceful demonstration cannot be a demonstration where the demonstrators are carrying stones in their hands. Maybe we need to tell our youths, when the Constitution talks about a peaceful demonstration, it means you must be unarmed, you must not have any tool that could be perceived as a tool that you could use to make violence against Kenyans, and you must peacefully walk. And if you find people along the path, you don't grab their bags, you don't slap them, you don't defile them, you don't rape them, you don't beat them. You explain to them the purpose for your demonstration so that peradventure, if they are convinced that your demonstration is in good order, then they will peacefully join you, and it will become the maandamano we watched another day in South Africa, led by the Malema. The demonstration we watched in South Africa, where people actually walk, they could be singing, they could be holding placards. That is the demonstration that is envisaged by our constitution under Article 37. Kenyans will be very proud the day you demonstrate on the streets. You go back to your homes, you make ugali, you greet your neighbor, and both of you become friends in spite of your difference in opinion. I would want to say this. You have looked at the kind of losses that have been meted out on Kenyans, and we want to thank the police and even thank the CSs who gave a warning, the CS for Interior and the CS for Education, who first initially gave a caution that the children should not go to school because last week some people had taken advantage of demonstration and caused mayhem in Kihubuni Primary School. To avert that, the government took a measure, ensured that they cautioned against children going to school to avoid schools being used as shields by demonstrators. Why? Because this government cares about the citizen. It cares about the rights of citizens, the rights of children. It cares about the Kenyan citizen. If you will notice, the government has rolled out a plan for fertilizer to enhance production of food so that at the end of the day we are able to bring the cost of living down. The cost of living and the cost of food did not just go up within a day when the current presidency took over. No, it had gone up even before this government took over. And what the government now is doing is to work down that cost of living to ensure that every Mwananchi is comfortable to live in Kenya and can attract another African to come and live in Kenya. And we must work together. And there are institutions, if you feel aggrieved, there are institutions in Parliament. We do not know why our colleagues are not using the platforms that they have been given in Parliament. Let them use the available institutions to ventilate their disputes and grievances, and we believe we should have a peaceful nation. I want to wish all Kenyans peaceful moments and not to demonstrate, and tomorrow to wake up early in the morning and go back to their work. We are in Parliament, we are working, members of the fourth estate are all here, and they are working. Let's go back to work tomorrow.
We want to thank the police. We want to thank them because for the first time, they were tactical. We did not see them use force when they were arresting the goons or those who had broken the law. We saw them doing what we call undercover management. And if we can allow even journalists to do undercover when they're investigating, we should as well use police to be undercover when they're arresting those who are breaking the law, those who are causing mayhem, those who are causing violence. And I want to say that they did a great job, and we want to thank the Ministry of Interior, the police, and also the Ministry of Education, because there was word out there that this Azimio people wanted to cause violence by using kids as body shields. And that's why the schools were closed in Mombasa and here in Nairobi. And after it was done, you realize that they did not do what they were supposed to do because the children were at home. So today we are saying that what police did yesterday is what they're supposed to do today, tomorrow, and the day after. This country survived economically during COVID lockdown, and it was 2 years of lockdown. We are urging the government, if it needs lockdown for another 2, 3, 4 days to deal with these people, let's do it. We are going to survive. Correct. We are going to survive as a country. Yes. But we cannot be waiting every time we go for an election. Somebody wants to come into government through backdoor. Then why do we have elections? Why do we have to wake up early and vote? And I've been on record saying that no one is above the law. If it takes to arrest that gentleman called Raila, I don't think if he was a gentleman. I think I edit that part. If it takes him to be arrested or whoever is breaking the law for this country to move on, we will just deal with it for a few days and then we're going to go back to developing this country. So, as my colleagues are saying here, we are saying that the country is peaceful, the police are doing their work, and they are going to do that. All we have to tell you, just check who is next to you, because we will be coming for everybody, or the police will be coming for everybody who is trying to break the law. Thank you very much.
Tunataka kusema kwamba demonstration hizi, maandamano yamefail. Yamefail kabisa kwa sababu hayakubeba matarajio na maoni ya Wakenya. Mkenya wa kawaida anataka kuamka aende kazi, aende akatafutie watoto wake wasome, arudi nyumbani kwa amani. Maandamano haya hayakuwa ya Mkenya wa kawaida, na ndio maana yamefail. Na sisi tunataka Wakenya wa kawaida wasiogope, wajitokeze nje kufanya kazi zao za kawaida. Tusiwe waoga. Tumeuziwa uoga kwa siku nyingi na watu ambao hawapendi maendeleo, hawataki Kenya iendelee. Kwa hivyo sisi tunasema jitokezeni, nenda kwa kazi yako. Na tunasema usalama unaanza na wewe. Usikubali mtu akuharibie na wewe unaangalia. Usikubali. Tunasema usalama unaanza na wewe. Ukimwona mtu anataka kukuvunja duka lako, mkamate. Muite polisi, apelekwe akaadhibiwe kulingana na sheria. Hatutakubali nchi yetu iende kwa watu ambao wanataka kuharibu amani, kurusha mawe, ati ndio bei ya unga ishuke. Nenda ukawaambie watu walime. Huu ni msimu wa kulima, na every responsible leader sahi anaambia watu wake walime, sio kushika sufuria na kugonga kichwa. Sijui tangu lini hiyo sayansi ikafanya ukigonga kichwa sufuria ndio chakula itoke. Tafadhalini, Mheshimiwa Raila, Mheshimiwa Martha, Mheshimiwa Kalonzo, Mheshimiwa Eugene, ambieni watu ukweli. Hii sio maandamano ya kupigania kitu chochote other than mambo yenu yenyewe ya kibinafsi. Mnatafuta serikali kwa mlango wa nyuma, na wananchi wa Kenya wamesema hatukubali kuwaingiza nyinyi katika serikali kwa mlango wa nyuma. Na maandamano haya yamefail na yataendelea kufail. Asante sana.
Tumetoka kwa kikao kuambia Wakenya, tumekuwa tunajadili masuala ya mipaka ya nchi ya Kenya. Wale waasisi wa maandamano ambao wana shida na mpaka wa Uganda hawako kwenye bunge sasa, ilhali wale ambao wanawasikilishwa na viongozi wa maandamano hawaoni matokeo ya maandamano. Tunaomba wananchi wa maeneo husika kwamba tunapojadili mambo muhimu ya Kenya, mambo ya mipaka, mambo ya chakula, mambo ya maendeleo, hawapo. Lakini ukitaja mambo ya maandamano na vurugu, watapaza sauti, kinywa mdomo juu, kana kwamba Yesu yuaja. Jambo la pili, wale ambao walikuwa katika serikali ya Mheshimiwa Uhuru Kenyatta, Mheshimiwa Eugene Wamalwa alikuwa waziri wa ulinzi, alikuwa pia waziri wa miradi ambayo inajulikana kama Galana Gulalo. Alipewa bilioni 14 kupanda mahindi ya humu nchini. Pesa hizo walizibugia, hadi sasa hawakupata magunia hata 10,000. Iwaje sasa wao ndio wanaongoza maandamano kubeba vifuria kwenye kichwa wakidai gharama ya maisha imepanda? Ni kinaya na kejeli kwa viongozi hawa kudanganya na kulaghai wa Kenya kwamba wao ndio manabii wa urejesho wa ukombozi wa nchi ya Kenya. Mheshimiwa Raila Odinga alipokuwa na mustakabali na Uhuru Kenyatta, mradi wa ajenda 4 kubwa, mkoa wa Magharibi, Turukana, hawakupata hata shilingi moja kwa miradi hiyo ya maendeleo. Watu wa mkoa wa Magharibi hatukubeba vifuria, hatukufanya maandamano kwa sababu tulijua miaka iliyoliwa na nzige itarudi. Miaka imerudi. Sisi tuko katika serikali. Wanatulaghai tubebe vifuria kufanya nini? Naomba wanawake wa nchi ya Kenya wasimame na wakashifu viongozi wanaume ambao wamechukua ala za upishi jikoni kufanya kana kwamba ni nadharia ya urejesho wa vyakula na gharama ya maisha. Sisi kama jumba la Senate tutasimama imara na kuwarai polisi wakabiliane na wao jicho kwa jicho. Na wananchi wengine ambao ni wapenda amani vile vile tujimwae uwanjani. Tuwarai polisi kudhibiti hali nchini kwa sababu nchi hii ni yetu, hatutahama, tuko hapa hadi tamati.
Nataka niambie watu wa Kenya kuna kitu tumegundua kwa hao watu. Sio ati wanaongea mambo ya vitu kurudi chini, wameanza mambo ya siasa ya 2027. Na sasa nimesi kidogo, wameanza vitina, wameanza kuleta mambo mbaya. Nataka kuniambia watu, tumeona nyumba nyingi zimevunjwa, watu wengi wameuawa. Kwa hivyo tumegundua waliweka watu vijana wetu ambaye hawana kazi waingie mstari wa kwanza ndio aweze kwenda kupora mali. Na sasa serikali yetu ya Kenya ikaenda ikaangalia wale ni wezi na ndio wamevunjwa miguu, wengine wameuawa. Nataka kusema kama kuna uwezekano serikali ya Kenya Kwanza iandike barua ICC, mtu anaitwa Raila na timu yake, Uhuru Kenyatta, Martha Wangari, mtu wa Sufuria, Kioni na wale wengine wote waandikiwe barua wapelekwe Hague. Hiyo ingine naomba sisi hatukatai mambo ya kuwa pamoja, bipartisan ilikuwako, lakini yeye aliambia watu yake waende. Nataka kusema mambo ya Senate, mambo mengi tumepitisha tukiwa Kenya Kwanza, tumekuwa tukienda kupitisha mambo ya mbili ya sote wanatoka nje waenda kurusha mawe. Kwa hivyo hao watu wanaanja na watu wa Kenya, kwa hivyo ni watu tukubaliane, hao watu wapelekwe Hague. Asante, ni mimi Senator wa Embu County.
When these protests began, the narrative was the elections were stolen, and they were demanding that the servers be opened and all manner of demands that they were making to the president. But with time, they realized that they are not making any sense to the people of Kenya. Now they have found a narrative that resonates with all of us Kenyans, including the president, and that is the cost of living. And a lot of Kenyans, ignorant Kenyans, have fallen for this trap, thinking that Raila Odinga and his team are fighting for their own good, or the good of Kenyans. I want to tell you that Raila Odinga and his people already have a lineup. They have the jobs that they are eyeing for. They have positions that Martha Karua, Eugene Wamalwa, and all others have been assigned just in case they are successful. But we want to tell them they are dreaming. Mchana, during the day, they are dreaming because as His Excellency Dr. William Ruto said yesterday when he was in a function to open a water project, the government is open to any kind of dialogue except any that involves a power sharing structure. So if you are genuine, you take up that invite by His Excellency the President, you come to the table as long as you do not include a power sharing engagement as part of the dialogue. Thank you very much.
In fact, we are not dealing with maandamano. We are dealing with thugs, people who want to overturn the government. And this is a legitimate government, and I don't know how we can handle this kind of people. We want to tell Kenyans, people have a different agenda, the Azimio leaders have a different agenda to overturn this government of Kenya Kwanza. We want to say we will not accept this. The elections were done, and the president is there, and his government, and we will not allow a coup to happen in Kenya anymore. You have tried this several times. This time round, you will not manage. Thank you. You will not manage. We are going to protect our people, and I'm very sure for the last two days now, yesterday and today, we have seen Kenyans are now coming back to their senses. Those whom you have tried to, use to go to the streets and ban and even slaughter their own Kenyans. We will not accept this, and I want to urge the members of the public, our youth, to disagree with this kind of, bad intentions.
Ladies and gentlemen, first we want to condemn the ongoing criminal activities. These are no longer about peaceful demonstrations. These are clearly criminals and goons who have been hired to destroy other Kenyans' properties. Let me say the following. Number one, I would want to urge all young people in this country not to accept to be used by selfish political leaders. Azimio cannot wake up today, ask that the servers be opened, say that this government was not legitimately elected, while we have members of Azimio in Parliament, in the Senate, and in the National Assembly, earning a salary from the taxpayers of Kenya, masquerading to be defending the rights of other Kenyans while sitting in the streets when we are supposed to be having a conversation in Parliament on the policies, laws, and regulations that we are supposed to implement in order to bring the cost of living down. You cannot bring the cost of living down by destroying other people's properties. Number two, I want to advise the young people of this country. It is time you wake up and realize that there are politicians in this country who think their children are precious eggs to keep them in foreign countries, learning institutions, and work opportunities, and use you as their human shield so that in years to come, their same children will come and lord over you. I'm going to begin a process of recalling Winnie Odinga as a member of parliament for East Africa so that she can lead the Mandamano from the front. Yes. I'm going to propose we recall Ken Kalonzo Jr. so that he leads Mandamano in Ukambani from the front. We can no longer afford. Sisi watoto maskini hatutakubali tena kutumika na matajiri ambao wamebeba mali ya Kenya na Kenya hii wamefanya ni kana kwamba ni yao. Ya mwisho, mimi naomba serikali, tunajua ile fedha inatumika katika maandamano hii ni ile posa iliporwa kutoka Central Bank of Kenya. And I am challenging the former governor of Central Bank to tell us, hii pesa ilikuwa nabebwa na magunia kuelekeza mpaka Mombasa, sijui Marsabit. And in fact, in his own confession, as the governor of Central Bank, he said he has never witnessed something of this magnitude. We are asking the government of Kenya to go after that money. We cannot continue suffering when people are using money they have stolen from this country to destroy this country further. We know why Azimio are worried about Kenya Kwanza administration. They are worried of the shame they are going to experience because of the transformation this country is going to witness under the Kenya Kwanza administration. They will be ashamed because Kenya Kwanza has a clear plan to help our young people get employment. Kenya Kwanza has a clear plan to be a food secure nation. We want to tell them they have no iota of opportunity to destroy the intentions of Kenyans. This Mandamano must come to a stop, and we want to congratulate the police. In fact, the task force that was established to look into the...
Mine is, we saw the clergy advising the president opposition leader, Raila Odinga, to sit down and talk about it together. I want to ask the clergy with due respect. what do you want William Ruto and Raila Amolo Odinga to discuss? William Ruto was elected legitimately on August 9th, 2022. Yes. They went to court and the court said it was valid, the election of William Ruto was valid. Yes. That means William Ruto is in office legitimately. Asking the president to sit with Raila Amolo Odinga is sanitizing anarchy. To me, the clergy, with due respect, being a staunch Christian and AIC member, should be asking Raila Amolo Odinga to stop using the blood of children of Kenya to get nusu mkate. Yes. Should ask Raila Odinga to stop the tendency of using maandamano to get into government. Should ask Raila Amolo Odinga should stop using anarchy, demonstration, mayhem, and killing and destroying of properties to get into power. He has used that in Moi government, he has used that in Kibaki government, he has used that in Uhuru Kenyatta government. He is now using the same trick in William Ruto government. It is time the church and the civil societies and the people of goodwill of this nation call Raila out and ask him to stop using blood. In 2007, he used over 2,000 people who died to be prime minister of this nation. In 2015-16, he did demonstration against Uhuru Kenyatta. People died. Baby Pendo died for him to get handshake with Uhuru Kenyatta. The moment he forgot about Baby Pendo. The moment he got handshake with Kibaki, he forgot about post-election violence. The moment he got during Moi time, he forgot about all those who died. Now he's using another blood. How many sacks of blood do you want Raila Amolo Odinga for you to be settled and to accept that there's legitimacy and there is democracy? What Raila is doing is a coup on democracy of Kenya and Africa and the world, and we want to call him out as he is. He's an anarchist.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. I think just that is, we are done for today. I think in the upshot is that, just in an upshot, is that there is no power sharing deal, there is no handshake, there is no nusumkate, there is no consultation, there is no cooperation. So I think what we have said is sufficient enough. Allow us to end it there. Maybe one question only, Brian?
Yes, this question goes to you, Senator Cherargei.
Yes.
Answer it in this order. Has the Constitution been suspended as you asked, or as you proposed?
Yes.
And if not, then what explains what we have seen, the arrests of people, Article 49, who were speaking to the press, arrested, freedom of speech? What explains the lack of arraignment of leaders arrested over 24 hours?
There is no constitution that has been suspended as at now. Number two, the arrest, being arrested by police, there is a procedure. You must be booked, then you appear before a court of law. As I'm aware, we were arrested during Handshake. Like me, I used to be arrested on a weekly basis. And I've given advice that when you are arrested to the police, you must eat well, have a blanket, have a good lawyer, and have a cash bail. What we are doing is let's allow courts to do their job. If you have not committed an offense as a leader or anybody else, or you are intending of committing an offense, then why are you worried? Just appear before the court of law, cooperate with the police. And you heard this lawyer saying today, in one of the leaders that was arrested, and we are aware they were calling illicit money to fund maandamano, up to tune of 4 million when he was arrested, then let's leave it there and allow the courts to do their job. It is as simple as that. Final
Senator,
question.
One question, Senator.
Yes.
And this is important. Look, we're here because of a political problem. You and Azimio members are members of the political establishment.
Yes.
What we have is clearly the path to instability. For example, how would you justify calling out the judiciary in terms that are printable? You yourself, a lawyer by training, and the problem we have at hand today is the moral authority politicians have for the people of Kenya. Do you really understand, both Kenya Kwanza and Azimio, the mood music in this country and what political instability means for Kenya?
There is no political instability in the country. One, because elections was done, the government in place is a government which is constitutionally in place. There is no crisis in the country. Number two, judiciary is not God that we cannot criticize. Just like parliament and the presidency, we criticize normally. It doesn't mean even if judiciary are churning out things that do not argue well with the reality on the ground, we need to call them out. Because, for example, if they are suspending the Finance Act, for example, how do they expect government to get their taxes? Yet the same judiciary will want a car funded by Kenyans, will want a pen funded by Kenyans, and even their salaries. So judiciary is not immune to positive criticism. They should allow that. And I want to assure the country there are no crises. The small pockets that today, for example, and I know media are guilty of this, I have not seen media covering Kenyans in farms. They want to fish. They are on a fishing expedition like Kibra today. The only place that has experienced maandamano is Kibra. The rest of the country is safe. So media also, I want to urge you, cover even positive things about Kenyans. Cover what the president has done in Isiolo. He has opened a road. He's opening northern Kenya. Cover about Kenyans who are learning peacefully. Cover about, let us not also be a country that pushes only for negative news. What I can confirm to the country, in as much as there is a narrative pushing the president, what do you expect Raila Odinga and William Ruto to speak about? There is nothing to speak about. And as legislators, we shall not allow any sitting that will happen to discuss about sharing of power in this country. We shall not allow handshake. We shall not allow nusumkate. Get it from us.
More Radio, 88.2 FM. We are in charge.